All right. I'm going to have you guys start by grabbing your blanket and rolling it into a long skinny. And, if you like a higher heart opening, some of you do, you can do it a little thicker. So you just lay it there, bend your knees, and carefully lay over it so that your shoulders drip down to the floor, and you can lay with your arms in cactus and see how my arms are totally over. I mean, this feels pretty intense. So you're snagging like the bottom of your shoulder blades, and you kind of have to add a little bit of rib cage back to make it feel safe, and then you can extend your arms. And once you get there, just yeah, that's awful big, you might ask. Yeah, it's a skinny. It's better if you're rolling this way here. And you can also, I would say, do it like that. See how that feels. Yeah, that feels good. So if it doesn't feel good, you can roll the blanket out a little bit so you have like a little cush, like so. So it feels like a shoulder opening, but it's not too intense. Okay. I guess I'll just lay there for a moment too, and you can just check in, see how you're feeling this morning. You tune into your breath. I was thinking about the concept of karma. How karma a lot of times is associated with negative things, that they get what they deserve or whatever. But it also is associated with good karma. And I have a quote from Dale Carnegie, which I really like. And I'm a little hoarse this morning. I'm not sure what's going on, but I just, if I sound funny, I'm a little hoarse. I thought it was because I yelled so loud at the game on Saturday, but now it's lasted till today. So maybe it's something else. I don't know. But anyway, Dale Carnegie says, by becoming interested in the cause, we are less likely to dislike the effect. So karma really is cause and effect. And he's saying if we are interested and want to think about the cause, we're less likely to dislike the effect, which is, I think, very true when you think about it. Sometimes we don't understand why other people think the way they do, but if you really ask them questions and understand what's causing them to have these opinions, then you're less likely to dislike the effect. I like that. So whenever you have issues in your body, if you're really curious about the cause and you take the time to think about it and explore, and sometimes you may not like the effect, but maybe you can change the effect by doing things a little differently. Another quote I really liked is, shallow people believe in luck or in circumstance. Strong men believe in cause and effect. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. If it's not comfortable for you to extend your legs, if it gets kind of ouchy after a minute, then please bend your knees. Good. And now slowly lift up enough that you can come on your elbows. If you need to move the blanket out of the way, you can slide it out. But I want you to be on your elbows. Your elbows are right in front of your shoulders. Your fingers are pointing forward. And then point your toes. And keeping the back of your neck long, just slowly lift your heart. And I want you to feel the shoulder blades coming towards each other, but your clavicles broadening and your heart coming forward. Feel really strong front and back of shoulders. And then if you can keep a long back of neck, you can go ahead and let your head drop back. This is the form of Purvottanasana. And then bring your head up, bring your hands then where your elbows were. You can turn them, the fingers out a little bit if you want to. And then do the same thing, but on your hands. Just let your heart lift. I don't think I'm going to let my head go back, but if you can point your toes, you can. Broaden the clavicles. I want you to feel really connected. Good. Now relax for a moment. Bend your knees. And lift up to a tabletop position and just go slow and think the same thing. So protect the back of your back, the front of your back, and then lift your heart. It's like a tabletop. Purvottanasana. I think it's a really hard pose for me. Good, and come on down. Oh, and come to all fours position. And just do a few cow cats. You've got the heart opening part. Now really spend some time thinking of the cat part, because when you do shoulder openers, you open the back and the front. You open the front, now think about opening the back as you move through cow cat. And then pause and come on down to seated for a moment with your feet in front of you. And flex your feet. Bring your feet a little wider than hip distance. And now we're going to open our back a little more. So right hand comes off to the side. Left hand reaches across to the foot or the ankle, not accessible. And then tuck your chin and draw your sternum straight back, just to stretch the back side of the shoulder. like you're stepping on the gas. Good, and then come on out. Switch sides. And of course, breathe. On the gas, sternum back. And then come on out. Let your feet come flat. Take your hands behind you so you have a nice long spine, and then just let both knees roll to the left side. And then up and over to the right side. So windshield wipers, but seated. And just do that a couple more times. Kind of warming up the hips, and you don't have to go too far to feel it. Good, and then roll all the way to the side and come back to all fours. And just start to move in a big figure eight, just kind of really feeling all the joints. You can get wild if you want to. Figure eight, infinity sign, whatever you like. And switch directions. Feeling every joint. You can feel your shoulders, your wrists, your hips, your knees, even your ankles here. Good, and then pause. And please sit back to a child's pose. And keep your arms stretched long so you're really stretching the side body. And then go ahead and lift up onto fingertips. And then, since it's close to Halloween, think about walking your two spider hands to the left. If shift to the right. A nice long stretch in the side body, your right side body. And then have fun with your fingers. Walk them all the way over to the right side. If it feels good, shift the hips to the left a little bit. And then come on back to center. And placing your hands flat, just come forward to all fours. But your hands should be slightly in front of your shoulders. Curl your toes and come up to your first downward facing dog. And as you go, I want you to just notice your shoulders. So you're protecting them on the back. Your armpits feel hollow, yet you're broadening the shoulders apart a little bit. And then just walk your dog out a little bit. Good, and then come forward to a plank pose. You'll know right away if your hands are in the right position. And then lower your knees. And then very slowly, I'm going to have you lower your hips and your pelvis and your belly and then your heart. Good. Stretch your feet long. Stretch your arms long by your hips. You can press the hands down if you want, the backs of the hands. And then think long side body, head of the arm bones back. So you feel connected back there, and then broaden them, lengthen through the back of your neck, lift your head and your chest. Press the feet down, maybe lift the arms. Just kind of notice the work in the back, keeping the long back of neck. And lower down. Good. Bring your hands by your chest and just do cobra very slowly the same way. So long side body, head of the arm goes back. Protect that and then broaden and lift the head and the chest. Don't even use the hands. And then maybe add the hands into a cobra. One more breath. And lower down. And push back to all fours and reconfigure your hands under your shoulders. And just for a good measure, do a couple more cow cats. Just really noticing, do I have the front of the body open? Do I have the back of the body open? Especially on the shoulders. Good. And then pause with a flat back. Extend the right leg and the left arm. And this is optional. Bend the right knee. And then think cow pose as you reach back, maybe find the foot and kick back. A form of Dhanurasana. Stretch out your quad a little bit. Good, release. And come on down. Let's extend the left leg and the right arm. If this is challenging enough, don't do the other part. Let's just think bend the knee. Think cow pose as you reach and see if your foot's available. And then kick it back. And release. Well done. Good. Take a child's pose. Stack your hands under your forehead just to relax the wrists and the hands. I used to do this all the time and called it the dreaded opening sequence. Susan and Laura remember that. So let's try the other thing that goes along with that. So come to all fours. And you probably want to swivel your right foot a little bit. You don't want it all the way off to the side, just a little bit, like a kickstand. Extend the left leg. See if you can really connect through the core and the right arm, or in the left arm. So same side, arm and leg. Yeah, it's hard to balance. Think long spine. If you want to add the bend, same side, hand and foot come together. Kick back. I know it's a challenge. I know. It's mind blowing. And release. Woohoo. Swivel the left foot just enough. Got a little kickstand there. Right leg, right arm. And bend if you feel like you're stable and you can kick back. It still feels a little bit like a cow pose. Good, and release. Woohoo! Well done. And make your way to downward dog. Take your time, setting everything up, really mindful of your shoulders, front body, back body, side body. It's like a vacation after a dreaded opening sequence. DOS. And forward to plank. And this time, lower, but do it the same way you did. So maybe lower knees, thighs, pelvis, belly, chest. Stretch the feet long. This time, stretch the arms forward, forehead down. Really analyze your side body, your shoulders. You'll feel the rib cage move back if you really protect your shoulders. Lift the head, lift the right leg and the left arm. You can press down with your right fingertips. It feels good. Just check that out. See how it feels. Really notice. And then bring the left fingertips down, the right foot down. Lift the left foot and leg and right arm. One more breath. And relax down. Hands by your chest. Slowly lift to cobra. Just analyzing each step of the way, really noticing. Don't scoop the tailbone, just think long spine, open heart. Good, lowered back down. And make your way back to downward facing doggy. And slowly walk your hands back to your feet to come to a forward fold Uttanasana. Check in there. And slowly roll up, taking one vertebra at a time. Come all the way up to standing. Good, now I'm going to have you stand strong through your feet and legs and bring your elbows up kind of in front of you. And then think to yourself, okay, long side body, draw the head of the arm bones back and then broaden the clavicles as you slowly open the elbows a little bit. You don't have to open them all the way. And then stretch the arms up. And very slowly lift the heart forward, keeping that connection through the rib cage back. You can keep the elbows bent if you want. It's really hard to keep it if you don't. Good. And then come back forward. Now we're going to go the opposite way. So tuck your chin, draw your clavicle back. Keeping the long side body, slowly bring the forearms together. And then Go the open heart way again. So slowly open, protect, maybe stretch the arms a little bit, lean back. Good, and then once again, bringing the forearms together. Long side body, keep that. Feel a big stretch. Good, and then relax your arms for a minute, shake them out. I'm going to have you grab one block. Let's forget about the shoulders for a minute. Bring the block right in the middle of your mat. And step your right foot on. And you can step your left foot beside it. And you want to have all four corners of your foot on the block. So if your foot is too long, which mine is almost too long because my toes come over the edge, but I still feel grounded. And then shift your weight and come up onto your tippy toes on your right foot. And then see, maybe you can flex the foot and stand there. Keep the hips level and make a little circle with that. You can bring your arms out with that lifted leg. Which directions? Need to touch your toe down, you can. I just did. Oh, good. And then step off and we'll switch. If you focus on a spot that's not moving, it'll help. So stand on the block, lift the foot, and when you feel stable, start to make little circles. And switch. Really have to hug the standing leg thigh in. Stay stable, good. Pause. If you want to, you can try and step both feet on to switch. I always like to play with that. And then standing just on your right foot, lift your left knee. This is optional. If you want to do a quad stretch, and you know you can move it back. If you can find the foot. More dangerous on a block. Don't have to do this. Good, and release. Switch. You don't have to do it where you step both feet on the block. I'm just playing. Lift the right knee. Move it back to the quad stretch if it's feeling like you're good balanced. Knee beside knee. You can do this on the bare ground too. And release. And step all the way off. Fun. We used to play on the block a lot. I forgot about it. Bring those blocks to the front of your mat. And come on up to standing. You can use the blocks if you want, or you don't have to. It's your choice. So bring your arms up like we did before with the elbows bent. And just keep thinking shoulders front and back supported. And then slowly lift the heart forward as you maybe extend the arms. Good. And then hold forward on an exhale to Uttanasana. Please step your right foot back to a deep lunge. Notice that. If you have tight hamstrings, you might want to use your blocks, and you might even want to use them on the highest height you decide. I'm going to try it without. So lift the back heel nice and high. Make sure your left heel and left sits bone line up as you slowly straighten your left leg. Your right heel and your right sits bones lined up. Parsvottanasana. Hug the feet together. Feels connected through your spine. It's, if you have really tight hamstrings and you can't get that leg straight, use the blocks. Works just great. Arm extenders. Good. Lifting the back heel high again, bend back into the front knee. Now lower the back knee. Hug the heel and the knee towards each other. Bring your hands to your front thigh. And slowly lift up. Now, the Anjaneyasana. Just start with your elbows forward like you did and think, okay, I'm going to do long side body, head of the arm bone back, and then broaden the clavicles as you slowly lift the heart. Maybe extend the arms a little bit. Good, and touch down. Lift the back knee again. Lift the heel. Use the blocks if you need to. Make sure your heel sits bones line up, everything square to the front. Straighten the left leg. Parsvottanasana again. Feel the big toe mound. Grounded. Little toe mound. Inside of heel. Outside of heel. And slowly bend into the front knee and step forward. Forward fold. Let's switch sides. So left foot back to deep lunge. Notice that. The right sits bone, right heel line up. Lift the back heel high. Move the hips back to straighten the right leg. Parsvottanasana. I have to make sure my kneecap and my toes point straight ahead. Your right hip creases back. One more breath. And bend into the front knee. Lower the back knee. Taking your time. Come on up. Noticing, how can I make this more stable? If I pull my knee forward, my heel back, and keep things lined up, I can. And then think, oh, I'm just going to slowly open my heart. So elbows bent, long side body, head of the arm bones back, broaden the clavicles, and then begin to lift the heart. It might be very subtle. It might be not much of a lift at all. And then you can even bend deeper into the front knee if it feels safe. And lower down. Lift the back knee. Make sure everything's lined up. Lift the back heel high to straighten. Right leg again. Parsvottanasana. One more breath. Bend into the front knee. Move the blocks out of the way if you're on the blocks and step back to a downward facing dog. And if you're ready for child's pose, you're welcome to take that. Or you can do a vinyasa with me. So I'm going to do plank, and I'm going to be ever mindful of my shoulders and my rib cage as I lower. And then lift to cobra. And lower down. Roll the toes, push all the way back, downward dog. Step your feet to your hands this time. Use the blocks again if you need to. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Keep thinking, protect the shoulders. You'd start with elbows bent and then lift the heart. And fold forward on the exhale. Pranam. And fold. Now listen carefully. You're gonna bend your right knee and step your left foot back just enough that you can ground that heel down. So right knee's bent. Bring the hands to the front knee and slowly make your way up to warrior one. So make sure the knee's not in front of the ankle. You can have the feet nice and wide if you want. Your pelvis is not going to point straight ahead. It's going to be a little bit turned out. Draw the low belly up. Bring your arms up for the heart opening. Right heel, right sits bone line up. Long side body, head of the arm bones back. Broaden. Rib cage stays back. And maybe extend. You have your weight evenly in both feet. It's going to feel better. Good. Slowly lower down if you're using blocks, hands to blocks, and step that foot all the way back to deep lunge. Lower the back knee and stretch up Anjaneyasana. Just doing that slow stretch. Be mindful with your shoulders. Good. And then bring your right hand to the knee and left hand to the hip. Now, if you prefer a block, which I kind of do, I'm going to bring a block under my right hand. I'm going to bend my back knee and see if I can find the foot with my left hand. That's perfectly okay. Elbow, hand here to stay more upright. Hug the knee forward. And then we're just doing a quad stretch. So see how it feels. It's pretty intense in this position. Good, and release. Lift the back knee, step back Down dog. Check in. You're on blocks. This is easier to do. If not, it's okay. You can try it. Extend the left leg and step it forward, deep lunge. Step the right foot forward first so you can ground that foot down. Make sure that there's maybe your heel and your right sits bone, your right heel, your right sits bone, your left heel, your left sits bones are lined up. And then make your way up for warrior one. Take it slow, being very mindful of the shoulders with your core. And touch down. Nice. Step the right foot clear back to deep lunge again. So you can lower the back knee. Take your time. Notice your alignment. Stretching up Anjane Asana. Good. And then coming to that quad stretch, either left forearm to the knee, left hand to the knee, or to the block. Hug to the midline, bend the right knee. If you can find the foot, maybe you just find the pants. Okay, just giving yourself a little quad stretch. Try drawing the heel close and then try kicking the foot away. Just changes it. Kind of feel how you, if you add that muscle energy, it becomes a little easier to get this stretch. One more breath. And release. Good. Lift the back knee. Step forward. Uttanasana. Take a few breaths there. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And that really connected core and shoulders especially. Stand up. Maybe a little open heart action. And fold forward on the exhale. A breath. And step back. Downward facing dog. And lower your knees. Grab your blocks and just bring them. You can put them on the highest side or the medium height by your heels. Actually, everyone do highest height to start. And then come up on your knees. Now, a lot of times for this pose, we talk about not letting the thighs pop forward because I do want you to stay connected there. So just kind of think, want to not scoop my tailbone too much because if I do, I'm going to feel really achy in my low back. So scooping tailbone looks like this and your thighs come forward. Don't do that. Just kind of keep a long spine. So work up your spine. Keep thinking long. Bring the elbows up. Think long side body. Out of the arm bones back. Broaden the clavicles. Lengthen really tall through the top of your head. Now just bring your hands to your hips, but keep the shoulders like that. And just pause. And then slowly think, okay, maybe I can open my heart. I'm going to keep the long back of neck and just keep my head facing forward. Think, I want my heart to come open, but I want to stay connected. I'm not scooping the tailbone. Maybe you can reach back with your right hand, see if the block's there. Maybe the left. Camel pose, and then just keep thinking, do I have the shoulders protected? That's the key. Lift the heart a little more. And then leading with your heart. Come on. Back up. Feel okay? Oh, yeah, that one, you can feel pinchy in your back. So you just go where it feels good. If having the hands on the hips is where it feels best for you, just keep doing that. I'm going to, if it felt good and you want to come to the ankle or the heels, you can. So there's two ways to do that. Toes curled under or toes stretched long. But we're going to set up the same way. So just think, the longer you have your spine, the better. I even think about broadening the sits bones apart a little bit. And then add the arms, long side body, head of the arm on back, broaden. It feels like you pull them down a little bit, hands to the hips. Keep that. It's outer hips. Because if you bring them too far back, you're going to lose the shoulders. And then just see where it takes you. I like to keep the long back and neck, keep looking forward. And then if I get to a spot where I'm like, okay, that's it, I can lift my heart a little further, maybe allow the head to go back, but in a controlled fashion. This camel pose, keep thinking rib cage is connected, but the heart moves forward. Good, and then feed with the heart and come on up and go ahead and come down to a child's pose. Drink in a few deep breaths. Slowly make your way to a downward facing dog. Forward to plank. Lower to the mat. And I'm going to give you two ways to do this next pose. So you can do it on your elbows and just bend your knees and think, I'm going to pull the elbows back, think really connected shoulders and come to kind of a back bending pose. Or the other way to do it is I like to start with the forehead down, bend the knees. Might have to roll side to side to see if you can find the feet or the ankles. And then you think, okay, I'm not scooping my tailbone. I think long side body, head of the arm bones back, broaden the clavicles, and then kick back. And if you want, at the end, lift your knees. Dhanurasana. If you're on your elbows, perfect. And release. And push back to all fours position. I want you to have one block handy and come to your back. You have to move around a little bit. Just enjoy a moment on your back. But do notice you have a little curve in your low back, that natural curve. Bring your feet right under your knees. Think long side body, head of the arm moans back, hands by your hips. Maybe you can just kind of slide the shoulder blades underneath a little more so you can feel that connected rib cage, but you're kind of protected. And then press into your feet, lift your hips just high enough to slide your block under your tailbone. And I'm going to encourage you to try the low or the second height, not the highest height for now. And then think, okay, can I broaden the clavicles a little bit, lengthen the back of my neck, and lift my heart a little higher? You're going to feel your tailbone pressing into the block. Good. Now try and keep that. Lift your feet up so your knees are right above the hips. Your feet just dangle. Yeah. You'll know it's in the right spot if you could do that. Good. Now put your feet back down. Keep that connection and then just lift to Satu Bandha. Just see, wow, does the block fit under there at the highest height now? With all that heart opening I've been doing. Not quite. Okay. Good. And then release. Come all the way down. Hug your knees in. Roll back and forth a little bit. I'm going to give you two options. Next, you can just do what you just did on the block. Actually, three options. Or you can go to Satu Bandha again, bridge pose, and just by lifting one knee and the other, but keeping the shoulders set and that really strong rib cage so you feel stable there. Or if you want to try a full back bend, Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can do that. I know there's some of you that like to do that. So whatever choice you make, go ahead and go for it. Just go slow and mindful, just thinking my shoulders are a key and my rib cage. And when your body says, I'm done, come on down. Tuck your knees in again. And roll up into a little ball. You can really feel stretch in the low back. It's like your belly button's trying to press down. Good. Relax back down. Press your knees away from you. Widen them and then bring them down to the mat. Arms a cactus. And just do a couple windshield wipers. So it feels. And then you're ready for Shavasana. You can, or you can do Supta Baddha. Which is laying down cobbler's pose, feet together, knees wide. And then go ahead and set up for Shavasana. And just take a moment to feel the buzzing. I don't know, I always feel this buzzing. Utilize your breath. Let yourself relax. Every breath, right? Prana, life force in, favor it. And then spread goodwill when you breathe out. Peacefulness, love. As you relax, I'd like to share some words from Marianne Williamson from her Year of Miracles book. What I put into the universe will put to me. I cannot escape the law of cause and effect, which is my protection when I am loving and my teacher when I am not. Today, I choose to be generous, for generosity is in my self-interest. What I give to others, I receive. I will not be tempted today to deny, however subtly, the ways I withhold love from others. I will not feign confusion about the genesis of unfortunate events in my life when I know in my heart what I did or did not do to cause them. I atone for my errors and begin again today, knowing love and love alone will guide me truly. Need to notice the breath. Notice the inhale. Notice the exhale. With each following breath, try and draw it in a little bit further. And begin to notice your surroundings. Where are you? What do I hear? What do I feel in this space? When you're ready to move more, please start to wiggle. Straw your knees into your chest, pull to the side. And push on up when you're ready. Bring hands to the heart center. By being in class today, you had a great effect on my day. Thank you. Namaste. Have a fabulous day. And this was a hard one for you to come back